For a long time, people believed that animals didn't feel pain, or if they did, it wasn't the same as what humans experience. The common belief was that animals' reactions were purely mechanical. Scientists argued that animals reacted purely on instinct, devoid of any real emotional or sensory experience. A yelp from a dog hit by a car? Just a reflex, they said, not a sign of suffering. This perspective was widely accepted. This kind of thinking meant we treated animals very differently, often without empathy or consideration. We hunted them, experimented on them, and farmed them without much thought for their well-being. The lack of perceived pain justified these actions. After all, if they didn't feel pain, why would we worry? Thankfully, times are changing. Awareness is growing. Science is revealing a different story, one that challenges our previous misconceptions. We now know that many animals, even those very different from us, are capable of experiencing pain and distress. This new understanding is profound. One group of animals has been in the spotlight recently: crabs. Their behavior is being closely studied. These fascinating creatures with their hard shells and scuttling movements are starting to challenge our assumptions about what it means to be sentient. Their reactions suggest a complexity we're only beginning to understand. Crabs haven't always been seen as complex beings, often misunderstood and underestimated. Their hard exoskeletons and alien-like appearance made it easy to believe they were incapable of feeling pain or emotions. They were often seen as simple-minded creatures, driven solely by basic instincts and survival needs. This perception led to practices that would make most people uncomfortable if applied to mammals or birds, such as boiling them alive. Boiling crabs alive, for example, was a common practice, justified by the belief that they didn't feel the pain or distress. However, scientists began to question this simplistic view, delving deeper into the lives of these fascinating creatures. Observing crabs in their natural habitats, researchers noticed complex behaviors and interactions that were previously overlooked. They displayed problem-solving abilities, remembered routes, and even seemed to engage in playful activities, suggesting a higher level of intelligence. These observations raised a crucial question. Could these complex behaviors indicate a capacity for pain and emotions that we had overlooked for so long? To answer this question, scientists designed a series of meticulous experiments to test crabs' reactions to potentially painful stimuli. These experiments were crucial in understanding the sensory experiences of these marine creatures. One such groundbreaking experiment involved administering electric shocks to the crabs. In this setup, crabs were given the option to escape from an area where they received a mild shock, providing them with a choice to avoid discomfort. The results were clear and quite revealing. Crabs quickly learned to avoid the area where they received the shocks, demonstrating a significant behavioral change. They remembered the unpleasant experience and altered their behavior to avoid further discomfort, indicating a form of learning and memory. This suggested that they weren't just reacting reflexively, but were experiencing something akin to pain and learning from it, a significant finding in animal behavior studies. Another equally important experiment focused on how crabs reacted to potentially harmful substances, such as noxious chemicals. Researchers found that crabs would actively avoid areas where they had previously encountered noxious chemicals, further supporting the idea that they were capable of feeling and avoiding pain. These experiments, along with others like them, provided compelling and robust evidence that crabs can indeed feel pain, challenging previous assumptions about invertebrate sensory experiences. As a result, the scientific community began to accept that these creatures, despite their alien appearance, deserve to be treated with more care and consideration, leading to changes in how they are handled in both research and industry. Section 4. Changing the tide. Section 4. Changing the tide.